had the style to pop. 100 on my fist and 100 on my watch.
Yo, what's going on with you freaking Mexican cockfighters? How y'all feeling? Y'all freaking wrangling up some cattle? You got the cattle in the saddle? What's going on? What's really going down and what's really up with you guys? You know? You follow my directions. I'm the type of person to confuse the Apple CarPlay. You know, I'll make your GPS take you to a detour at a taco stand where they're selling chihuahuas on the corner. You know what I mean? What's going on? It's fucking it's May 3rd. May 3rd, 2026. Hopefully you guys are having a good weekend. I know I am. It's Sunday. And we're kind of winding down in the night. But wanted to shoot a pod real quick and kind of share with you guys on how my week went and, you know, what I'm kind of looking forward to. But before we do all that, just want to say thanks for everybody rocking with the pod. Hopefully everybody's healthy. All your family members are healthy. You guys having a good weekend and everybody's safe and taken care of. But yeah, man, this week went by pretty quick, actually. This weekend went even quicker. It's like you blink and you're back at work. It's like you literally like sit down. You sit on a little recliner chair for a little bit, a little lazy boy chair, and you sit down, you wake up, and it's already Sunday. And I'm like, man, that shit kind of sucks, but it is what it is. What are you gonna do? I'm not gonna complain about it. We're just here, and we enjoy the moments that go by. So that's that kind of shit that's going on with me in my mind right now. But this weekend that just passed, right? Somebody tried to freaking pawn a puppy off to me, bro. They were telling me like why I don't need they were telling me like I don't need to take supplements in the morning. You know, you don't need affirmations. You don't need all this shit. But what you need is this puppy right here. And this dude was trying to just pawn off a little fucking puppy. You know, he was trying to shuffle a puppy over to me. And I had to tell him, like, man, that dog is cute and all, but I can't take no puppy, bro. I already got 2 of them at home. But this guy was, like, just trying to get rid of that freaking puppy, bro. And I was like, when did your dog have puppies? And he's like, oh, it didn't. You know, my wife brought it home and, you know, I'm kind of just stuck having to find him a home or whatever. And I was like, what? Why don't you just keep him? He's like, I already got 4 dogs at home, you know, all puppies who grew up, and we can't bring on any more soldiers. So I was like, man, well, I can't either, bro. I got 2 dogs at home already. 2 is enough for me. I can't do anything more than two dogs. Because you gotta have one thing I'm starting to notice is I don't really have the most patience with a lot of things. I kind of get frustrated pretty quick. And, you know, 2 dogs is just a lot. I walk my dogs, you know, I love them. I treat them well. I feed them when it's time to be fed, sometimes 2 times a day, just when I'm feeling generous or heavy-handed. I'll give them two scoops. And I just don't have, like, a lot of patience for them, bro. And it's like my dogs don't listen until I get to yelling. So I'm like, man, I'm trying to fix my temperature on certain things, but these dogs just drive it out of me, bro. I can't bring on another puppy is what I told him. And yeah, man, I'll freaking walk my dogs. My neighbors are looking at me crazy because I'm always yelling at them or whatever. But it's like that's the only time my dogs listen is when I'm out here freaking yelling at them. And I don't like it because it stresses me out. I feel like I put my dogs in some type of fear mode a lot of times when I do it. So it's something I'm working on. You know, I love them. I give them pets and shit like that. But I can't bring any more responsibility as far as animals go. So I had to tell them, like, hey, man, good luck finding this puppy a home. But, like, I don't even think he's charging for the puppy. I think he's just, he's just trying to find it a house or whatever. He's trying to find it some companionship, you know? And it's like, he told me like he does this often. So I'm like, man, at this point, it seems kind of like your side hobby. Like you just like matchmaking puppies with humans, you know? I'm surprised there's not like an app for that or something like that. People swiping left on a freaking puppy or whatever. Because there is a lot of just puppies out there in the world. There's a lot of dogs who are having other dogs who are having children, and those are little puppies. So I told him, you know what, man, I can't take the puppy with me, but what I can do is I'll tell somebody. So this right here is a picture of the dog. You know what I mean? It's a cool little dog. Look at that little dog. Little brown dog. He and you a minority dog if you pick up that dog right there. I mean, look at him. Look how big his paws are too. He just looks like like he's already kind of like about to get into some shit, you know? He's about to open a box of cereal if you leave it around him long enough. You know. He's one of those kind of dogs. Looks like he's a handsome pup, you know? I would take him home, but I just got 2 dogs already, so I couldn't. I want to. I mean, look at him. He looks chill as hell. He looks like the type of dog that you could tell a secret to and he won't tell nobody. You know, you could probably take him in your car, hotbox, and he's cool about it. He's been wanting to get high or whatever. That's that kind of dog. You walk him over there across the street, and he's he's only gonna pee on the rival neighbor. You know what I mean? He's one of those kind of dogs. So yeah, if you want a dog, let me know. I'll hook you up with a dog. There's this dog right here. You know what I'm saying? He looks like his name will be like Samson or something like that, or Buford. Give him like some Goliath or something like that. He just looks like he's gonna be a big dog, and a dog that is lovable, especially when they're that big. When they're little puppies like that, man, ain't nothing cooler than a puppy. But yeah, man, if anybody needs a dog, needs a guard dog, needs somebody to talk to because they feel alone, go ahead and take this dog right here. Go take him off the streets. He doesn't have a home right now, so. Shout out to that guy who was giving off, puppies. He was just trying to shuffle it like a lateral pass in football. You know, he was just trying to get rid of it quick. And, I think he was just doing it for like, he just needed to get it out of his house. But at the same time, like looking at him, he was very like joyful when he was trying to get me this dog. You know what I mean? Like it looked like this was his passion on what he does on the weekends or whatever. So yeah, man, if you guys need a puppy, let me know. But what else? What else is what's going on? My week was pretty chill, right? I mean, the week went by pretty fast. Monday went quick, all the way up to Thursday. Thursday kind of stalled out a little bit, but then we hit Friday, and that's really where the magic started. You know what I mean? Because anybody who goes to work on a Friday, are you guys really doing work? Anybody really doing work on a Friday? We should just have Fridays off, because it's like, people are just fucking bullshitting it at work, throwing freaking paper planes or whatever, putting sticky notes on each other's desk like Marco Polo or whatever in the office. There's not a lot of stuff getting done in an office. You know what I mean? I work in the office right now, and Fridays are pretty chill. I show up at sometimes I'll show up at 9:30. Just because it's like, I already know everybody else is showing up late. Why not me? So yeah, Friday was pretty chill. And that's when my weekend really started. Probably started around 3 p.m. Started, planning things on what I was going to do and shit like that. But productive wise, the week was pretty chill. The week was a good week. And got a lot of stuff done. So that was pretty chill. I didn't really do anything this week. I kind of just got stuck in work. That's kind of like my whole, little journey at the moment of my life right now. Everything's work, and then that's when I get the time after work to go ahead and try this pod stuff. So this is kind of like my breakaway from work, really. But it's cool, because I've been with the company I'm with now for about a year and some change. So it went by fast, and it's cool. You get to see your development and where you're at. You kind of trip out sometimes. At least I do, like where I started, kind of like where my skill level was to where it's at now. It's like, man, we don't came a long way, Vince. We don't came a long way. So that's pretty cool. Some cool stuff that happened. I got this new business card right here. Boom. Yeah, man, I just got these on, when was it? I think Wednesday. And it's a new career path that I'm taking. Working in finance, you know what I mean, with my cousin. So that's pretty exciting. It's actually taking me out to Texas. So I'm going to get my little Texas on, you know what I mean? I'm going to try to find some girl in some Texas boots or whatever, And we're going to see where life takes us with that. But it just feels good to have the business card. It feels more than just talks. It's like, all right, it's here now. This is what I'm doing. This is my rep. This is what I'm repping now. And it's just cool because, it's really happening. It's not just talks. It's not just like imagine if we work together, Vince. It's like, nah, you're already branded, bro. So that's kind of cool. That was pretty exciting for me. I already had a couple of conversations with people just based on finance because when you're dealing with money, bro, people need it. You know what I mean? I know I do. I need some money right now. If I can find a way to lend some stuff to myself, I'll probably do it. People cracking down on fraud and shit like that too. So it's like, people who are doing it legit, they need money for their business or whatever like that. They need help, building a church or whatever. Whatever their vision is, and that's kind of what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be helping people with that. So that's kind of exciting. And it's like perfect time because the company I'm with now, I'm grateful for where I'm at with the company. But I just started noticing some things like, man, I came here because I didn't have a lot of like knowledge of sales, or kind of like I didn't have a lot of experience. A lot of the experience in sales came from my own hustle, my own projects. And I was getting stumped by just regular objections or kind of not knowing how to talk to people. I didn't have that EQ, you could say, which is I don't know what it means, but it's like something like, it's like IQ but EQ. You get to like know personalities better, whatever, in a business setting. So it's cool though. So the company I'm with, I like. It's fantastic. It's doing great things for me, but I just feel like I'm at the level now where it's like, all right, Vince, I'm here, but now I want to go here. You know what I mean? So that's kind of coming to it, and it's a little sad, because I really mess with the people there, but it's like, it's a personal thing. I got to go grow and turn into a legend that I've always claimed to be. So that was pretty exciting about my week. I'm trying to think what else. Everything's just been very like work oriented. So like setting appointments and stuff like that. That's kind of how it played out. But the weekend is kind of when we get to freaking, you know what I mean? I get to wildin'. I get to holler it at the moon. It was a full moon on Friday. You know what I mean? I felt like a freaking Tasmanian devil from Looney Tunes. I felt like a freaking werewolf from freaking Twilight or whatever. That's kind of how I was feeling, bro. I hung out with a couple of my friends. We went downtown Riverside, and we were just, kicking back. We were lurking in the night, going from bar to bar, trying to go, band for band with a couple people or whatever. So it was going drink for drink, whatever. So that was pretty fun. The worst feeling is like the next morning you look through your phone and you're like, damn, I can't believe I said some wild shit to this chick I only talked to twice in my life, You're like, God. That's the worst feeling. You got to explain yourself the next day. I mean, I don't, but like you want to, and you're just like, we'll let it live. If she blocks me, she blocks me or whatever. So that was kind of crazy. I mean, nothing crazy like that, but just like, God, there's nothing worse than that, puts fear in your heart, bro. Like, God, what did I say, bro? I don't even remember. Who did I call at 2 a.m? I don't even have this number saved. Who is this? You call back and it's like, or they call you the next morning. Like, did you call me? I'm like, I did, but I didn't want to or whatever. So that was kind of cool. And then the rest of the weekend, honestly, I didn't do much. I kind of just hung out, did some house chores or whatever. Had to clean my room, bro. My room was getting out of hand, bro. It was getting pretty bad, actually. Like to the point where I wouldn't even sleep in my room, bro. I'd sleep on this couch right here just because I was trying to avoid it, bro. I'd freaking sleep random spots just to avoid how dirty my room was. Because I knew I had to clean it. I was just like, I was trying to put it off forever. Man, I was trying to find ways to make enough money to get me like a maid or something like that. Because it's not that I don't like cleaning my room. It's just, it's the last thing I want to do on my priority list, So I was like, nah, this is getting out of hand, Vince. Come on, man. Come on, go clean your room. So we did that this weekend. Took care of, some laundry, shit like that. Nothing crazy, nothing too exciting. My week wasn't that exciting this week. And that's the struggle I'm having with the, work and pod and stuff. I'm trying to experience stuff so I can share with you guys, which I've been, really putting myself out there doing. But it's just like, man, when you get caught up in the thickness of things, as far as like the thickness of things, with work and just shit going on in your life, it's a little hard to. But I just thought I'd be on the pod anyways and share some shit because that's kind of how life is for some people. It's not the most that's going on. It's just one of those weeks, and I had that same kind of week. I just did my thing. I went to work and figured things out as I go. So that was kind of cool. That was my week, at least. Hopefully you guys had a good week and are ready for the next week coming up. That's the crazy part about this world. It's a grind, bro. Don't stop and just keep spinning, bro. And I love it. I love it because it's like, man, you can't dwell too much on something, right, that passed, because, hey, as soon as you know it, it's already the next week, bro. You got to be ready for that. So I like that part of it. That's pretty chill. One thing I did learn about myself this week was I learned that I'm a pretty good communicator when it comes to business now. I'm able to talk and communicate what I'm trying to say. In the beginning, it was pretty rough. I won't lie to you. I was saying some shit that was off the wall crazy. People were looking at me, talk circles around. I was spinning gears while talking to people, trying to formulate a thought. And that thought was like she was mid, bro. She was probably like 2 or 3 or whatever. Now my thoughts are coming out clear, crisp, and it's pretty dope. I learned that about myself. And it's crazy, like I can sometimes walk into a room, right, and I know exactly like what's going to go down and how we're going to run it, which is pretty fascinating actually, because it's the experience and reps and stuff like that I've been practicing, where I kind of know how to navigate, which is kind of cool. Before, I was going in there like a freaking blind mouse from Shrek or whatever. I didn't know what I was even talking about sometimes. Sometimes I would just be there and I felt like an inconvenience a lot of the times. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't talking about anything of their time. You know what I mean? Like they set some time for me to stop by and I couldn't even. I was asking them about how's your mother or whatever like that. How's the kids? Like if I knew him like that or if I knew them like that. You know what I mean? I would struggle with receptionists. I tried to come in smooth. And then it ended up turning into me like low-key flirting with them, asking for their number at the end. So I just didn't have the professionalism of business at the time. But it's cool. We're better now. So that's one thing I learned about myself. I kind of looked at it like, damn, I'm getting a lot better at this stuff. And it's pretty exciting. I like it. I like what I do. So I work in business to business sales, and it's pretty dope. Because everything's strategic, bro. You got to use your brain. It's pretty fun. So that's why I'm kind of excited about this new opportunity as well. Genesis Financial. It's a family-owned business, so I'm pretty excited to contribute to that. And where I'm at now, I can really hit the ground running and really make an opportunity for myself to make some really good money. So that's pretty exciting, something I'm looking forward to. But yeah, man, I learned that I'm a good talker, bro. I learned that I can ask for something in a persuasive way, and it works out. Not all the time, but most of the time, So now we just got to figure out how to translate that over to talking to women, you know what I mean? Because it's a lot more different. I still struggle in that field. I kind of just be like, what up? Or holla at your boy or whatever. What up, shawty or whatever. But we'll get there. So yeah, that was kind of something I learned about myself. It's like, damn, Vince, hey, you came a long way. Because in the beginning, bro, I was struggling, bro. I was like that 92 Toyota Camry that you might have in your garage that you used to use or whatever like that to get you from point A to point B. That's kind of how I was kind of, shaped like. Now I'm kind of, I'm like a Honda Accord. I'm pretty reliable. You know what I mean? You could put me in the game and I'm gonna score at least 6 points. You know what I mean? Maybe not the most, but I'll score, okay, maybe more than 6. I'll give myself, probably like 16 points if you put me in the game right now. So That's kind of how I'm feeling. I'm a good player. Yeah, man. So that's what went down this week. What I'm looking forward to this week is just more of the same. I want to close some more deals, but I'm actually looking forward to Thursday. This Thursday coming up, I'm going to go see Kill Tony right here in LA in Inglewood or whatever. I've never really watched Kill Tony like that. My friends invited me. They're like, bro, you like comedy? Let's go watch it. I'm like, all right, bet. So we're going to go see Kill Tony live. I think it's going to be pretty inspiring to see some comics out there doing their thing. It might inspire me to go do my thing as well, put it into max effort, more power, you know what I mean? More hustle, more energy and all that. So I'm pretty excited about it. I haven't really done a lot of Kill Tony watching. I haven't really watched that show too much, but from the times I have watched it, it's pretty funny. So I'm excited about that. A couple of my friends were talking about doing shrooms while going to the show. And I was like, I don't know about that, bro. It's only a Thursday, But who's really working on a Friday? So fuck it, I'm down is what I told them. But yeah, I was like, I don't know, bro. I don't like to be on shrooms around a lot of people. We're going to be in a freaking stadium. So I'm like, it's a lot of steps. There's a lot of, walking Gila monsters when you're on shroom. I'm cool off of that. I don't want to get lost or whatever. Especially in Inglewood, that's the last place you want to kind of get, lost at and start tweaking. So I was like, we'll see what's going on. But I'm looking forward to seeing that show. Live events are always fun and stuff like that. Yeah, man. So they were talking about doing some stuff like that. I'm like, man, it got me thinking about the first time I did shrooms ever in my life. And I was kind of like I was just kind of experimenting, and I kind of came across some freaking Super Mario mushrooms or whatever. You know what I mean? And this is probably a couple years ago. This is probably when I was in LA, and I wasn't really even doing shit. I didn't even have a plan on what I was gonna do. I was just kind of like, I heard it's fun, so let's do it. And I did them by myself. And when I tell this story, people are always like, bro, you're never supposed to do shrooms by yourself. Are you insane? And I'm like, why not? They're like, because you kind of want a good group around you, or you want somebody who can take care of you if you're tripping. And I'm like, man, Vince will take care of himself, bro. I always have, you know what I mean? But this time I was living in LA at the time, right? And I took some shrooms, I was just hanging out. I was kind of scared in the beginning because I was like, oh shit, what's happening? But then I mellowed the storm, bro. I felt like a freaking one of those sailors that's like in a typhoon, and they're just going through the ocean, and then he weathers the storm. That's kind of how my vibe was. I was freaking drawing shit that was on the walls. I was drawing on the walls shit that I was seeing. I closed my eyes, and it felt like a freaking rave light show going on. I got stuck looking at myself in the mirror, which is probably the worst thing to do. And then I turned off the lights. I was like, I'm not doing that shit again. Went for a walk. I was just tripping, bro. And I was in LA, which is kind of funny because, like, everybody's kind of like on something in LA. It's either they're on drugs, alcohol, or they on some bullshit. You know what I mean? So when I was out there, I was on shrooms this time. And I walked up the street to a freaking boba shop. I didn't know how to order, bro. I didn't know what to order. And I just was tripping out on everything moving, bro. I noticed like everything was moving, And this sweet girl comes out to take my order, bro, and I didn't know how to even order with her. I was just kind of like, I was kind of paranoid a little bit. I get paranoid a lot. And, I just told her, give me anything that's going to, make me have a good time. So I got a boba. But that was like the last time I ever done some stuff like that. I don't know if I'll do it again because I was kind of tripping out a little bit. I was crossing the street, not even knowing. I thought I was a car for a little bit. I was just walking down the street in my 6'4" or whatever. So that's what I was doing. It was pretty fun, though. I mean, it was a good experience. If you haven't done it, You know, the only thing I'll tell you is if you want to do it, friends, if you're comfortable around people like that, go ahead and do it. But you can do it by yourself and you'll be just fine. I mean, look at me. I came out all right. Yeah, man. So that was pretty fun. And then, yeah, I had to get back to work the next day, man. So we'll see how that goes. Some stuff that's been on my mind recently, right, is kind of like, man, there's a lot of moving parts right now. I'm trying not to fall into the trap of society with the pressure of everything, trying to, gas prices, just shit being a lot of money now, and, people putting extra pressure on you, Sometimes it gets like that. You feel the pressure of the world on you. So that's been on my mind recently. I've been trying to avoid it the best I can. And what's been helping me is kind of like, going to church and shit like that. But also like, taking time to just sit somewhere. Go to a coffee shop and just sit there, bro. Leave your phone. Take a book and just sit there. That's been helping me a lot. Kind of just being present in whatever I'm doing instead of like worried about, this or work or what I got to take care of. It's just like, just be there, so that's been helping. If you deal with stuff like that, I recommend you try that out. It's pretty chill, and you never know, you might bump into somebody and you hit it off with them, but what's really been on my mind is just kind of like, I don't know. I guess like this move to Texas has really been on my mind because it's like it's something new. I was telling somebody, I was like, man, I really haven't done a lot of like travel. You know what I mean? I haven't done a lot of stuff in my life personally. So this is something that's kind of a big move for me. I'm not worried about it or like fearful about it, but it is something that's big, and I got a little countdown going on. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. We're looking at it come down to a couple of months now. So that's kind of exciting. Looking forward to just like doing everything that I say I'm going to do, So that's something to look forward to. One thing I've been reflecting on recently is kind of like, even though I'm trying to do all this stuff, I feel like I'm doing it to like avoid something in my brain or like distract myself, And a lot of the stuff I've been struggling with recently is just kind of feeling like, I don't know, like if I'm alone in this world. Like, I don't know how to relate to people like that. Like, I'm a good friend. I know how to be cool with people. I know how to create relationships and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, when it's me at my house, bro, I feel alone. So I've been struggling with that, And I've been just trying to put things in my life to kind of like distract it. And sometimes when I don't have stuff to distract it, I kind of just like make bad decisions or whatever, So I need to figure out how I'm going to fix that or like what's really stemming from that or like how, like why I'm starting to act like that. But I just think I'm older, bro, and I'm falling into the trap of society. Like, hey, you got to be at this age. You want to be a dad at this age, or you want to have a house here. And I think that's like, I never used to really care about shit like that, but I think now that I'm getting older, I'm starting to like notice it. Like, oh, fuck. If I do have a partner, right? Like, and I don't want to have kids with them right off the rip because I gotta qualify this person. So, okay, well, and then I just start thinking of shit, I'm a big time thinker. I think of stuff all the time. I'll sit there and I'll think about anything, bro. I'll fucking think a book out of my mind or whatever. I'll just start, thinking. It's like the little fucking bubbles that when somebody's texting you, there's little bubbles going on. That's in my brain all day. I'm just fucking typing some shit up. I'm like a fucking, one of those people at the courthouse. They're just typing everything that they're saying at the stage or whatever at the podium. I'm like that, bro. My brain is just like thinking. It's like a constant loading screen. It's just constantly coming up with shit. But I need to figure out how to weather that too, and maybe that might chill me out a little bit. But it is what it is, bro. I'm a man at the end of the day, and everybody goes through struggles, so I'm not going to sit here and complain about it. I mean, it is what it is. I like it. It's my own struggle. That's how you know you're alive, bro. You're going through some shit, some worldly shit, and that's how you know that you're part of what's really going on. You know, if you don't have no struggles, no nothing, bro, what kind of life are you living? Really though, like what kind of you can't like it's I can't be fantasy world forever. So the fact that I'm going through stuff, it's like okay, it is what it is, and we're gonna figure it out. That's kind of how I look at things, and keep that positive attitude and that positive view of things. So that's where we're at right now. So I got to just figure out what's going on, and I'm not worried too much. We're gonna grab the fucking what do they say? Grab the bull by the horns and fucking make it my bitch or whatever. You know, I'm not tripping. But yeah, man. What else went on this week? I didn't really do much. I've been just trying to balance, you know, work and life. But I've been plugging myself so much into what I'm doing. So we'll see what's going on. I'm excited about this week. We're gonna make it happen. You know, Vince, he always make it happen, and I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me on this pod. I know I didn't really have a lot of stuff to talk about, but I just wanted to share with you guys kind of like my week, and hopefully you guys are having a better one. And this week coming up, you know, we're gonna make it legendary. You know, we're gonna do some shit that ain't nobody's ever seen before. You know, that's kind of and that's another thing, bro. I get so much caught up in my own brain of like putting pressure on myself of like I need to do something no one's ever seen before. And I think it's probably because all the times that, you know, I started something, I just wanted acceptance from other people. But this time we're not doing it for that. This time we're doing it because this is the journey I chose. It's what I want to do. You know, and people tell me I'm selfish, but it's like, you know what, bro? Sometimes you got to be a little bit of selfishness. You got to have your own, you got to be on your own agenda sometimes. And if people can't deal with it, then whatever, they can get out of here with it. You know what I mean? So if you deal with shit like that and you feel like a bad person, don't, bro. It's your life. You got to create it and, you know, shape it like a fucking potter, bro. You got to pot it into your own life and create your own creations and be legendary at that. So I don't even know, bro. I'm going on a tangent right now. What's something funny I saw this week? I was driving up the street right here to Ontario Mills, and you know, I pulled over to get some gas or whatever. People making fried chicken in a gas station. You know, I've never ordered fried chicken from a gas station, but you know, I always wanted to. But I'm like, who thought this would be a good combo? You know, let me get some gas and some fried chicken. Who's ordering fried chicken from a gas station? I don't trust any fried chicken if it's not from you know, whether it's KFC, Popeyes, or the grocery store. I'm not buying no chicken from a gas station. So I thought that was kind of crazy. What else went on? I saw somebody, I think it was like a little Instagram post or whatever. Some guy, he was on a high-speed chase and in LA, and he tried to get away. He ran into a store. He thought it was Mission Impossible, and he just changed his shirt. And then he thought that would be good enough to get away, and I just thought it was kind of funny. You know, I was like, man, this guy watched way too many movies because all he did was change his shirt. You know what I mean? He didn't even put a hat on. You know, he didn't put sunglasses or anything. All he did was change his shirt, and the shirt he changed into looked like the same shirt he was wearing. It went from a white shirt to a gray shirt. It's like, come on, bro. Who do you think who are you dealing with? Like, you think you could just get away with just changing a shirt, bro? And then he walks towards the cops. It's like, bro, at least cut a corner or something. So I thought that was kind of funny. The world is, you know, a little insane right now, but it's all right. You know, people are okay, hopefully. And for the ones who aren't, you know, we're praying for you, and, you know, hang in there, and, you know, whatever else is going on is going on. There's a couple people I know that's, you know, doing some stand-up comedy. Shout out to them. That's another thing I've been struggling with, bro. I feel like my last time I did some stand-up, I didn't do too well. I did really good the night before, and then the night after, I didn't do that well. And since then, bro, it just kind of rattled me a little bit. So I got to get back on the stage and do my shit. But yeah, man, shout out to some of these people out here locally. Go ahead and support them. There's a couple people out here are really dedicated to that, and you know, they're getting after it, and that's very inspiring. Cause you don't have to be a comedian. You don't gotta be an artist. You don't gotta be that. It's just whatever you want to be, bro. Just go hard at being you. You know, because if you ain't, somebody else will, and they'll be living the dream that you want, bro. Go hard. Go hard at being you, bro. Fuck what somebody else is talking about. Go do what you want to do. Yeah, man. So that's kind of all I had for you guys this week. Shorter episode. Apologies for the audio on the last one. I was so bummed out. Oh, that was another thing that kind of bummed me out. I think I was like just so upset about stuff in the beginning of the week, right? Because I mean, I get irritated pretty quick, like I mentioned earlier, but I put out a solid podcast with my friend Elijah. If you guys watched it, even through the tough, audio, shout out to y'all. Y'all some real ones. But that really bothered me. I mean, the fact that I shot it, this stupid Audacity program, the audacity of Audacity sometimes, bro, it'd be pissing me off. But I'm not gonna make excuses, but this thing kind of like just ruined the audio. Couldn't save it, and I was kind of bummed out about that for a couple days. But we're gonna keep growing it. We're gonna figure out how to cut out some time in my day to really learn this shit, how to like grow a YouTube channel and social media and all stuff like that. Kind of learn the differences between the platforms and create a marketing engine, So, because I don't want to pay nobody yet, I feel like it's easy to pay somebody to do it, but at the same time, you got to at least know the bare minimum, bro. You got to kind of have some baseline knowledge so you're not getting freaking scammed or whatever. So that was kind of a annoying part of my week was the fact that audio, came out so bad. I had to use just the camera audio or whatever. So that kind of pissed me off. But we're past that. We're on a new episode, a new week, and I didn't have a lot to talk about, so I appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. If you guys want to contribute to the podcast, and I'm not asking for any type of like panhandling services right here or anything like that. What I mean is like contribute as far as like if you want me to talk about something on the pod, right? If you want me to, give you my opinion on something and kind of see it from my point of view, my eyes, and kind of how I look at things, go ahead and drop a freaking comment, bro. Drop some type of comment, some type of topic that you want me to talk about. I'll freaking talk about that shit. I may not know a lot of shit, but I'll talk about some shit. You know what I'm saying? That's the type of shit I get into. Yeah, man. If you want to, collab or whatever, I'm reaching out to a couple people to collab. So if it's something you're interested in, or if you know somebody who might be cool to watch, or might feel like, oh, this would be a cool guy you should interview, let me know, bro, and I'll do it. I'll see what I can do. And what I can tell you is I'm going to do everything that I can. You know what I mean? And I'm going to make it happen because that's just the type of person I am, a motherfucking legend. So, all right, y'all. Well, hey, thanks for tapping in with VinnyVin. It's a short episode this week, but it's been real, and I appreciate you guys for hanging in there. Deuce.
Let's just dance in slow-mo.